What's going on, my good people? What's going on? How you feeling? How you living? Yo, we are gonna have an amazing conversation today, bro. Check-in. Yo, we got some big things going on in April, bro. We got some big things happening in April. Um, you you might get some new guests. But yo, if you are here, what's going on, my bro? So I'm just gonna just wait for like two more people. What's going on, everyone? We are amazing. We're glad that you are here. It is 9 o'clock. Yo, I got a special announcement. I have a special announcement at the end of this live. But let me get my bro on. Let me get my bro on. What's going on? Send it to somebody. Let's have a conversation. We are going live at 9 o'clock. What's going on? What's going on, my good people? I'm so excited for today, man. You don't know how excited I am. Short, I sent you an invite. Let me know when you're ready. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you living? How you living, man? I can't wait to get these young entrepreneurs out here, man, in their 20s. Ooh! How you feeling? How you living? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you living? How you living? What's going on, man? How you feeling? How you living, man? Get these young. Oh, man, this man
What's
is about to
going
break the
on?
internet now. Ah, man, so let's wait.
What's going on?
What's going on, King? How you feeling? How you
Going
living?
on?
Let's wait till he's got.
I'm good.
Oh man,
I'm
what's going
good.
on, man? I'm
I'm good.
doing
How
highly
you
blessed
doing?
and successful, man. So I'm just waiting for some more people to
Uh,
come on, man. I'm so glad that you are here. Oh
yes.
man, once you came on, I had this one person, me and my bro Jeff. Now that you came on, I got the whole internet. I'm just gotta wait to everybody.
Yo, I'm weak. So you
So
got the
let's
whole
wait for some
internet.
people to come on. How you doing? How you living? You are a part
I'm
of Top
fine.
Shelf Production. I have my amazing person, Jeff. He does an amazing podcast called A Wow, Words of Wisdom every Wednesday. Yo, this Wednesday that he just dropped, Love is Patient. Ooh, banger, banger. So please catch him on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. He's giving you biblical verses. He is dropping knowledge. So check him out. The Word of Wisdom, the Wild Podcast. You're now tapped into the Bro Check In. So what is the bro check-in? Bro check-in is just us having authentic conversation as black and brown men. I have some special announcement at the end of this live, so please stay on. Please stay on. So I
Woo,
have some
woo.
major news. I want to break this news with my king right
Oh,
here, but before we do anything, we gotta
yes.
put prayer in. So I just want to pray to the Lord Almighty. Yo, I want to let you know you're breaking the internet right now. Let me just wave to the people real quick. Lord God, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for giving me an opportunity again to have a conversation with the new generation, the new entrepreneur, the new minds, the creative minds, Lord God. Thank you for allowing my ecosystem to just be you. Allow me to just die daily and say, what do you want from me, Lord God? As we do this bro checking, Lord God, allow our conversation to not just be laughter, but allow our conversation to change the minds of our people. Allow our conversation to be authentic. Allow our conversation to be just two brothers just having a transparency conversation. But one thing, allow us to always put you in the forefront. In Jesus' name, amen. Yo, what's going on? Oh, that's my bro, Fred. What's going on, Frederico? Frederico, what's going on? All right, so What we do normally is called mental check-in. So a mental check-in is basically how is your mental health for 1 to 10. How would you define your mental at this moment?
I would define my mental
Ooh.
as like a 8 right now. Why I would say an 8 is because I feel like I'm feeling real good. Things are happening in my life that I never think will happen. Also, it's just I think it's at an 8 because school is really kicking my behind. But but I think that's the only thing. But like my mental is at an 8. I'm really doing good. I'm feeling good. My mind is where it's supposed to be at, putting God
I love
as
that.
a
I
forefront of
love
my
that.
life. I think
Yo, I
that's
didn't
what
introduce
it
you,
was
man.
about.
Oh, this is an entrepreneur that I've met. If you know our brother Ike Quell, this is one of his mentee. He goes by the name Sean. He's the CEO. I want to put his respect on his name. He's the CEO of Two Gifters. So I'm actually honored that he came on our IG live. I had to call his agent. I had to call all
Nah,
these people to make sure that he could get on this live. So I just want to
nah.
say thank you to my brothers. Um, from us, Jeffrey and Fred, we just want to say thank you for coming on. But can you tell our community a little bit about yourself?
One thing about myself is that I'm a black individual. I'm in college right now. Um, Also, I had like I'm not gonna lie, I had a rough path getting here where I'm at right now. It was not easy, but with the help of the people around me, I feel like that was made my
Wow.
vision of where I'm at right now possible. Everybody that pushed me, teachers, everybody that pushed me to be the better version of myself, they saw stuff
Oh,
in me that I didn't see in myself. And that I feel like that's just deep. And I feel like it's very important to have people around you that's really gonna like support you, make sure you good, make sure that they see the potential in you and drive you, push you. Um, I'm actually, yeah, like you said, I'm the CEO of Too Gifted. And this is my life. I like helping people. I like making sure that people are good. I'm a very caring individual where I make sure that everything is good with everybody. I make sure everybody around me, if I'm winning, I want everybody around me to win and do the same thing, whether it's anybody with his family, everything like that. And I just like to give advice, show people how to live like a good purpose
so
driven life.
I run this company called Kingsville Kings, and you've done an amazing job. Where just
Yeah.
jumping in and having conversation with young kings. How do we as a community build more kings in our community?
I think we build more kings by having a king
Ooh,
build a
that's
king.
a good plug.
So
That's a good plug. I like that.
yeah, so you you have a big king, you're the little king,
Okay.
and it starts from young too. Like you gotta start from young, building kings. When you see potential in people, I think that you just show them the real vision. You show them the way of life. You show them a great path to live in. Stuff like that. I think that also you also just like you just make sure that your kings, you really tap into them, check in with their mental health, check in with everything that they're going on, let them balance life, and just have life just kicking in, and just make sure that you just set the tempo for kings so that they can just build kings. Because once you build one king, that's another king building another king. And it's like generational wealth. Like one king builds another king and it just
This is
passes
so
down,
good.
passes
This is
down.
so
So
good.
yeah,
And
I think
I heard you
so.
said you had a lot of community builders around you. And you also said you had a rough path. If it's okay, can you tell me a little bit about your rough path? Because I want to be able to have just a transparency conversation. While we have this conversation, I want
Yeah.
someone to, if they're in the live at this
Mm-hmm.
moment, to think about like if there's a king near them or queen, respectfully. But today we're gonna be talking about kings. If there's a king near them, how to create solutions around them, how to create a successful environment, how to create well mental health individuals. So I want to know from your perspective. You are 20, correct? Nine.
19.
Ooh, I had to pause for a minute. You said
Yeah.
19. So from you got to break it down for me because I'm on this mission. I'm on this mission to create an ecosystem of like-minded black and brown men. I'm on a mission to create a community that looks like us, that thinks like us. But a lot of people don't think
Right.
like us. A lot of people don't have these successful conversations. Their environment is not successful.
Right.
What do we do, or what do
Mm-hmm.
you do, or how do we do? But I want you to go back to that part of like, yo, I'm messing up. I don't know what's going on. And now lead me to this person as a 90-year-old CEO of Too Gifted.
So, so at first, I'm gonna I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna I'm gonna go back to my younger age. Well, my younger, I was not. I didn't know how to read. I had a hard time reading, so I didn't know how to read a book. When I was at an age where I didn't know how to read a book, I struggled. I struggled every day with reading in elementary school. And when that happened, is when I had a support system around me, which was iQuell, which is with other people, and he's like, Sean, you can read. You just gotta tap into that stuff inside you, focus up, and learn how to read. And after that, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna focus up. I make sure every day I'm putting in extra time. I'm going to school. I'm going to extra tutoring. I'm
Yeah.
going after school, and I put in the effort to read. So when I learned reading, reading
Okay.
is the foundation for everything when you're young. So I learned how to read and whatever. So at that time, that's when I was in Queens. I was in school in Queens. Then my
Mm.
mother transferred me to school in Brooklyn. So when I went to Brooklyn, that's when things started to get more easy for me. I had so many great teachers that pushed me in order to learn how to read and everything like that. And when I went to middle school, I mastered it. I was helping others. I was always like a player, like helping others first. Like I always love to help others, so I helped others get into that mode. Then after that, I went to high school. High school, I was hella nervous when I went into high school. You know how that could get. So I was hella nervous, but I just fell in with everybody. I fell in with the teachers. I fell in with everybody like that. And then after 12th grade year, I was like, everybody's like, yo, I see leadership qualities in you, leadership qualities. And they've been saying this since middle school, but I never like tapped into it. I just like leadership. I mean, everybody could be a leader. So when I actually like built that, I'm like, all right, I could be a leader. So that's when I was like, all right, cool. Let me be a leader. So one of my teachers was like, yo, Sean, we need you to tap into this leadership thing, and you need to make it to a big effect. So what I did was I was like, all right, and student government. Student government was a thing that everybody was talking about, student government. So it was like, all right, Sean, my teacher was like, yo, Sean, you should run for president. And I'm like, president? For real? You think I could do that? I'm like, whoa, like, isn't the president like in charge of like the whole school? You're not even in charge of a grade. You in charge of the whole school. You set a foundation for the whole school. And I'm like, you lying right now. He's like, yo, Sean, I think you should run for president. And then I was like, all right, cool. I ran for president. I gave a speech and everything. Everybody was clapping, going crazy. They gave the election results on the loudspeaker. Sean has became the president, has been voted in as a president. I started crazy with my friends. I'm like, what? Y'all kidding me right now? Like, he was like, yeah, everybody was chanting and everything like that. And then I took those qualities and I'm like, yo, if you say I got leadership qualities in me, let me use them. So what I did was I was president and I was in charge of everything. I was in I they looked at me as the forefront of the senior at the forefront of the school and of the senior class. So they looked at me like that in meetings. We would be discussing everything like that. They'll look at me to look at things. It's like a round table. And the
Mm.
first person they look at is Sean. They're like, Sean, what do you think we should do? Sean, what do you think? What do you think is the best option? So I feel like being in that role enhanced me to be who I am today. Like leadership is not easy. you receiving criticism from everybody, every angle. Like you receive criticism from administration, you consider criticism from teachers, you consider some, especially students. So it's like once I tapped into that, I'm like, all right, I think I can do this. I think that built me. And then the graduation speech, it was amazing. Everybody started clapping for me. Everybody was like, yo, you gave a great speech. And I'm like, and that's when I was like, yo, I can really do this leadership thing. That's what inspired me to say, yo, I'm going to get into government, because I'm like, one person told me at the graduation, like,
Oh,
run
so
for
that's why
mayor.
you always say you're gonna be the next mayor.
After that's why I say, I'm like, yo, somebody told me, one of the people run for
Yo, hold
mayor.
on real quick. We gotta get a real plug. Kingdom Arise Church is in the building. Sean is a member of that church.
Kingdom
So Kingdom
Rise
Arise Church is in the building. We salute you. We appreciate you. Wow. You said something that was really key, and I don't think you understand how powerful you said. Someone told you was a leader, but you didn't know you was a leader. Let's back that up.
Yeah.
I want to back that up real quick, because
Yeah.
I gotta think about that, because I gotta look at the science behind that, the environment behind that. You did not see yourself as a leader, but somebody saw it. They saw like little glimpse of it, but you had to create the environment to say, okay, here's a little thing of president. Here's a little thing of being a mayor. Here's a little. But how did you know that, oh, snap, I think I got leadership potential? I think
Yeah.
I think when I go up there, people love what I'm saying. So how did you know?
Yeah.
Or when did you know, like, when did you know it went from I think I'm a leader to I am a leader?
When I got into the meeting rooms and I seen that they turned to me. When I got into the leader room with principals and teachers, and I seen them, they like, Sean, what do you have to say about this? Sean, this is your group. Sean, that's when I knew. I'm like, I'm a leader now. I'm a leader. I tapped into it. When somebody looks at you in a room and just be like, the whole room get quiet and they just look at you. What do you have to say about this? That's when I knew, like, I'm a leader and I have to really tap into it.
I think that's powerful. Real quick, we just gotta give a plug. iQuell's in the building. Finally, I had to get Sean for him to come on, but iQuell is in the building. We just want to say salute him. He is a brother to the Top Shelf production family. Jeff and Fred, we love you. So, Amani, what's going on, Amani? Congrats on the wedding. Congrats. Dwight is an amazing person. You guys are amazing. Just want to say congrats. Real quick side plug. If you're now just jumping on, this is Top Shelf Production. My brothers, Jeff and Fred, we have all different type of things that are going on. I got a big announcement, so stay tuned. My brother, he does an amazing job on Wednesday. It's called the Word of Wisdom podcast every Wednesday. You can find that on YouTube. He got like about at least 1,000 views right now. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I have bro check in where we just have transparency conversation. So let me just tap back in. So how do you know, or when did you know, or can you be able to know who's the leader in the future? Who's going to motivate you in the future now? Because you had the teacher, you had the mentor, you had everybody. I've always asked myself, who talks to the CEO? What's the next level of the CEO? So what's the next level of Sean?
So the next level for me is I think I want to retire my mom. I want to retire my mom and I want to retire my family. Okay. I don't want my family working. So I think that I'm a I'm gonna work as hard as I can
Mm-hmm.
to make that stuff happen. I'm gonna work as hard as I can, whether it's doing what I gotta do to just make sure
Mm-hmm.
that I'm building a foundation where my brothers, I got 3 brothers, where my brothers and my family don't have to work no more as hard as they work. They could work it, but I want them to make them an option. If you want to work, you can work. But if you don't want to work, you don't gotta work. I feel like we put working
Uh-huh.
is I have to. So I'm trying to
Yo, where did
change it
we
and be
get
like,
that
you
from,
don't
though?
got to. I, I,
Uh-huh.
I think that it get from society. Society is telling us we gotta work, 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 we gotta work. But it's like working from paycheck to paycheck, we just
I
working
think
just to survive.
I want to be honest in this conversation. This is one thing that we pride ourselves on is transparency. I got to a point at 34. You got it. You got at that point earlier that said asking asking your boss for time off. It's ghetto to me.
Mm,
It's something about
mm,
asking your boss, "Hey, can I take the time off?" We had a brother, Ernest. One thing he said, and you could catch one way in the beginning, when we were starting. He talked about time, owning your time.
mm.
Owning your time is the most
Yes.
beautiful thing that you can have. And when you can own your time, like for
No, it
example,
is.
my wife does an amazing job of, she's a therapist, so she's literally, oh, she owns her time. But there's one thing that we always get like that. Not in trouble, but it's more of I can't have vacation on her days because I'm an educator, so
Mm,
automatically,
mm.
I gotta fit the spring break, the winter break. I'm like, damn. And then when you think about it, from back in my days, or the plane tickets are mad expensive. So you trying
Mad
to go to the trip on
expensive.
April? Wait, these tickets like 8, 9, maybe even $8,000 just to go to Jamaica.
And, and not only you traveling, trying to travel,
So
the rest of the people trying to travel
if
too.
you think about it, if you just go back a little bit and just look at it, that's like a robot. You're so programmed to think about everything, everything of what it's set up to be. You do this, you do that, you do
Right.
this, you do that, you do this, and you do that. The world, and if you try to reprogram that like you're doing, that's an amazing job. But we talk about the
Yeah.
positives. What if I say to myself, I'm okay with 9 to 5? I think I'm okay with just
Mm-hmm.
going to work, and that's okay. How do you feel about that? Because not everybody's gonna have your mindset, and I had to understand that. What do you do when they don't
Yeah.
have your
I,
mindset?
I feel like it's okay. Like everybody's not built to just like live life where it's just like they want to change the narrative. Everybody's just lived. Some people are just lived to live in the system. They want to be in that system.
Mm-hmm.
They like it. Like they're fine with it. And I feel like you should just do whatever you comfortable doing. Like whatever you comfortable doing or whatever you comfortable like anything you comfortable doing. What makes you happy is the biggest thing. I think that your happiness is more important. Like anything that's gonna make you happy, anything that's gonna push you to that drive where you feel okay, where you feel happy, then I think that that's the first thing that you gotta tap into. Once you happy, I feel like that's the thing that you gotta do. Like everybody's not built to be a CEO. Some people are built to be workers. Because if there was so much CEOs, there would be no workers.
That's a fact.
There
That's a
would be no
fact.
workers. Yeah, like you really, yeah. So like that's the thing. So like everybody, sometimes people are really like, I'm a work and I'm fine with it. And
So,
as long as you fine
as
with
a
it,
youth
I'm happy.
developer, as a person that works with youths, how do you build your type of mindset in our new generation? What do we do?
I think that we, to
Please,
be honest with you, I'm gonna go
please.
deep. I'm gonna go real deep. I think that the first thing we gotta do is we gotta change the school system.
You talk about
The
language.
high
Let's
school
talk
system,
that. Let's
yeah,
talk that talk.
that's
Now, why you saying that?
that.
I want you to go into too gifted. because you guys are doing some amazing job. So go ahead, bro.
So I think we gotta change the school system, and I think that we gotta make sure that we give kids everything, everything. Let them know everything. And I feel like we're shaded. I saw this thing today, and I was like, school only teaches you to work a 9 to 5. A school doesn't teach you how to be your own boss. And and when you really think about it, there's no classes telling you how you can be a CEO or introduction to entrepreneurship. There's there's nothing like that. So it's like I feel like we gotta change the school system, and that's what me and our club is doing. We going into schools, we teaching kids how to love themselves, how anything that they want they can get. I always tell students the sky's the limit. You can do anything you want to do. All you gotta do is just focus, and you just gotta really work hard for what you want. I think that for high school, that should be you build, like you say, building kings. That should when you be building kings right there in high school. Because after high school, the game has changed. The game changed when I was in high school, when I was out of high school. And I can go for
What
my
made the
friends
game change?
too.
You got
My
yo.
friends, they
I need you to
realize
go deeper. What made the game change?
you your own adult. You gotta go to this class, you gotta do this. You are now the owner of yourself. And you're gonna have to build things for yourself. You're gonna have to. It's no more. It's now building a foundation for yourself. It's no more mommy house, mommy house, mommy house. It's time for you to get your own house. Build to that steps. Build to when you funding yourself. You funding yourself. It's no more mommy got everything. It's now you gotta build that.
But
Now you gotta
yo,
build that.
but Sean, I'm scared, bro. At 19, I don't know how to build. Nobody's telling me to build. High school's babying me. The mommy and daddy's babying me. You telling me to go out there with no resource, no access, no tools,
Mm-hmm.
no mindset. So what I'm gonna do, bro?
I think the first thing you gotta do is establish who you are.
But what if I don't know myself? I've been doing. What if I'm doing 19? I'm doing. I'm on this earth for 19 years, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just living off of whatever I see. So I never got time to have those social emotional classes from Too Gifted. I never got a chance to have a King Bill King workshop. I never got a chance to listen to a top shelf podcast. I never got a chance to be able to do that because it wasn't in my environment. My environment wasn't set up for success. My environment was just set up for a 9 to 5. And
Like you said,
respectfully, I want to respect my 9 to 5 because I'm a 9 to 5 person, but I had to get upset the other day. And I got upset the other day because I remember being in high school and somebody told me, yo, Anthony, just get a 65. Just get a 65 and you pass. Do you know the scientific of getting a 65 just to pass? The
right,
psychological of that individual,
right,
of me
right,
or my community?
right,
The only thing I'm going to do in life is try to get a 65.
right.
That's in my work. That's in the internship. That's in anything I do. I'm only going to know the bare minimum. So
I,
you got to take that 65 mindset and try to go into 120% mindset. 65 mindset, 120% mindset. Those are they don't coexist.
they don't coexist.
They don't they don't even talk in the same boat.
No,
They can't have the same conversation. My language is different
right,
because the only thing. So if I'm talking, I'm like, yo, you know that we could, and I'm gonna go back a little bit, and I'm gonna come back to the future. You know we could be free slaves, right? You know we can be free, right? Nah, it's good right here. I'm okay being 65, but yo, they good on the other side, but I'm comfortable here.
not comfortable.
So I'm trying to figure out, and I want your help, is how do I get the child, the scholar, the individual, the community that think it's okay to have a 65 mindset to 120% mindset. And yo, you could, like, we are having an amazing conversation. If you are hearing what we are talking about, jump in the chat. This is a community help. So we are calling for a community help right now. What do we do? Young man, what do we do?
I think the first thing you said is that people told you to get a 65. People told people stuff like that. So I think the first thing that we do is we change our environment.
Ooh, we talk about language.
We change our environment, and we be around people that want higher, that want to succeed, that want to be their higher self. And I think that the first thing that we gotta install, that I recently started to install in myself, is that the challenge it's always good to have a challenge. I learned that if there's no growth, there's no challenge.
Ooh.
So I'm looking for that challenge. It's easy, and after you got challenged, that's when you install the discipline.
Ooh.
So it's easy. It's easy to go get a 65. It's easy to go outside and not do what you got to do. It's easy. Those stuff are easy. So I think when you tap into yourself, and when you understand your vices, and then you tap into your higher self, I think that's when you change your environment, change your mindset, and the people around you will change your mindset.
Ooh.
So if you hanging around like people that want to live low, that want to be low, I think that's what the result is going to be. So I think that we change the kings. We be like, yo, this is not the right group for you. This is not the right
comfortable
group.
Though.
But
it's not the right group, but it's comfortable though. It's really comfortable when you don't know what the other side looks like.
Right. And I think that's the first thing we got to get out of our comfort zone.
And we can normalize, and Sean, we can also normalize 65.
Right.
Where it's like I don't even know how to get to 100.
Right.
So we could normalize it. We can feel comfortable, because what you are talking about is because you have people around you that don't normalize 65 mindsets.
No.
Or if you just come on the live, just mindsets that don't make you better. I've always said you owe you. So how do you get to a place in teaching our young people that they owe themselves to be able to be inventors? They owe themselves to be coders. They owe themselves to be an amazing mayor. One thing I can't say.
Ooh, that was a good quote.
Yeah, leave the 65 hanging around. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Ooh. The one thing I'm always saying to myself is, yes, I could change the environment, but my environment might be too strong for you. And I have to be okay that some people may not come.
Yes. And
I used to get like, yo, why you want to come over here? Like, we doing some amazing things. I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
This is new environment for me. I don't know what that looks like. What? Sushi? What's that? Knife and fork? What's that? What? Black man talking about $1 million? How to raise $1 million? Oh, that's too much money. You can't have a conversation anymore with you, because it's a different language.
It's a different
401k. Oh, what's that? The most powerful thing you can say as a black man is, I don't know.
No.
And let me help you out. Let me have a conversation.
That's
with
a
you.
fact. That's a fact. That's a
get
fact.
That. Be able to say, okay, here's what you could do. Boom. And I think when we have community leaders and mentors and resource and access,
right,
and discovery, and get to gifted programs, you begin to see a change in people's mindsets.
No, you definitely see a change.
Because it's like you have to win. When you're in a successful environment, you have to win. You cannot lose.
Cannot lose. It's not an option. It's not an option. That's why mindset is so big, because I feel like I'm not my mental quality changed my mindset. I always used to be like, preserve our money. Let's preserve. I call you used to be like, we soon be rich. Spend that money.
Yeah.
That's what you used to tell me.
That's
You used to
a
be like,
fact.
we
Yo.
soon be rich. Spend that money. And I think that he allowed me to change my mind. I was always preserve. But I'm like, yo, let me go to Macy's and let me get that expensive cologne because I want to smell rich. I want to
And
smell
that's
rich.
okay because you know you have a vision. You don't live for the day. You have a vision. So you know, like, yo, we're gonna eat steak tonight, and we're not gonna be like, oh snap, damn, how the bill gonna be paid? Because we already thought we already know how that's gonna be paid because we've done financial literacy. Damn.
Yes.
How's that gonna? Oh no, we already had time management, so we know how to do. We know that contract is about to be. Oh man, yo, my money going low. Oh no, we know how those grants and contracts come every quarter.
Right.
So what we're now doing is we're literally planning out our whole year, or we're planning out our quarter. So we're acting as not just mindset entrepreneurs, we're just acting as a human being.
Yes.
Successful environment. I think that's what we need to learn. How
And
to have more successful environments.
then
Resource
also,
environment. It's like I think I've changed of not having generational wealth, and that's an amazing thing. I think everyone should strive for generational wealth, but I think people should strive for knowledge,
right.
generational knowledge,
Right.
generational access, generational discovery, generational mindset. Because it was because of some people in my environment where I'm like, I gotta win. I have to win because I know how it looks like.
Gotta win. I gotta win. That's the mindset we gotta have nowadays. You gotta win. Don't aim for low. Aim for average. Like, oh, I'm gonna live this average lifestyle. And one thing that you said also is that the mindset is just your mind is your biggest tool. And I think once we change the mind, I feel like we change other people's minds too. Because once your mind is changed,
That's a
everybody
fact.
around you mind is going to
That's a
change.
fact.
And then when we build stuff and when we do community stuff like this, and we tell people like, yo, you don't have to go that lane, or that lane, it can be good, but try to be the boss of it. Try to make sure that you the high of it. I think that's the conversation we're gonna be like, all right, you gonna work for oh, you want to work for this computer company. You're not gonna only work for the community company, but you also gonna work to how to get that big role in that community company. You're gonna work as hard as you can. You're gonna work as hard as you can to get that. Like my friend said, create your own lane. Create that lane where you feel like, yo, this is how I'm gonna get to. This is how I'm gonna get to that lane. So once you know your lane, you know where to go. You know where you're headed to.
Oof.
You know everything.
Oof.
So I think that we gotta teach people what's your lane and
Mm-hmm.
focus on your lane.
Yo, there's a lane that's about to come up, and the lane that's about to come on, and we gotta get off the highway real quick, and it's called failure. How do you define failure?
I define failure as mistakes. Failure is my mistakes. Everybody gonna have failure, but it's how you learn from your failure. You're gonna be like, yo, I made this mistake or I made this failure, but I'm gonna come back 10 times better after that fail. You're not gonna be like, I failed and just give up, because there's so many times that I've gave up and I'm like, nah. And I think once you give up, you're not only giving up on yourself, you're giving up on everybody that looks up to you, that looks at you as that role model, that looks at you as like, yo, you are the next one. You giving up, I'm gonna give up too. So I think that once you have other people around you, that's really gonna be like, nah, you can't give up. You can't give up, because you're not giving up on yourself. You're giving up on everybody. You're giving up on everybody. So it's like once you build that, you're gonna be unstoppable. You're gonna be unstoppable.
Yo, this is a powerful conversation, bro. This is, I think this is why I like to have a bro check in. And Pastor Brown or Iquel, I would love you guys to chime in and be able to have these conversations. If you guys want to talk on a Thursday, let me know. I do want to respect your time. And I said to my O's, it was 30 minutes, but I always knew that when we have a conversation, it might go longer.
Yes.
I want to know, what does your gift look like?
My gift is number one. I'm gonna list them for you. Number one, helping people become their higher self.
Oof.
Number two, I think another gift of mine is just like inspiring people to not just live average, but be their bigger version of themselves.
Oof.
Learn how to build environments, learn how to do stuff like that.
Oof.
And I think that, like this leader stuff, my gift is to be a leader, and I want to use it to the highest of my potential. I want to use that gift to help others, help people. I want to build a foundation where it's just like my friends, my family, they are people that just like, wow, I got this person that I know I can count on, no matter any circumstances, no matter anything. So I think that once we do that, and once we just like build everything, I want to see a community where we're building people.
Oof.
My first step, one reason why I wanted to get into government is I want to change the first step is to change that education system. That education system is not good for our kings.
Yeah, kings and queens.
Kings and queens. They not learning. They're not learning about financial literacy. They're not learning about entrepreneurship.
Yep.
They're not learning about your career. Your career. I think that's one thing I want to push into the schools. Stop teaching these kids to just be average. Teach them to be higher.
Yeah. We got numbers. I think when you work in the school system, unfortunately, we become numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like numbers in regards to how many test scores that one class passed or things of that nature. We don't realize that we are literally developing the next generation.
Yes.
And that's why I love working with the youth. That's why I love working with students. I love working with people like you because, like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I love collaboration. I always say group economic is the most powerful thing you can have.
Yes.
So if I have $1, that dollar, I have 25 cents now because you got 25 cents, the other person got 25 cents. We're going to bring it together.
We build.
If you got something, I'm going to make sure I support you. I'm going to make sure that I go hard for you.
Building.
At the end of the day, we got to look out for ourselves.
Yes,
the education system is horrible, and we know that.
We
definitely know that. And now we got to create our own system.
Yes.
And even if I've always said to myself, I've been having all of these events that's been popping up. If you see my page, Thompson Legacy, Kingsville Kings Access Tech, if you've seen all these events that are popping up, these events has been in my head for 3 years.
Wow.
And it was because of people like Iquel. It was because of people like my friend Jess Zamore, Fred, my wife, my beautiful wife, Janelle, that I started to see myself again.
Yeah.
Because now I was okay to be successful. I was okay to have failure in my system. And so, you know what? What it would look like to not give up? What would it look like to just do it?
Just do it.
What would it look like to just go like, yo, I got 5 people, but I'm going to go hard. I'm going to use those 5 people to create the amazing content. Why? Because I realize it's not me that's doing this right now. It's God. And one thing you said is, if I have a gift and God has given me that gift, he's going to be able to say, when I get to the pearly gate, do you still have that gift? I'm going to say no. Because I used when I was on the earth, everything I have. So when I get to him, I'm at 0%. Because I was 100% all the time. When I walk in, he give me my dap. He said, yo, thank you.
Yes.
Because why? I use what he told me to use.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
Final thought. Final thought. Plug yourself in. Yo, if you're on this live, please, drop fire for my bro Sean. Fire. He was amazing. Some flowers for my bro Sean. If you're on this live, make sure you drop some flowers because he was amazing. Thank you for your church for jumping in. Quell. Thank you for Pastor Brown. You guys are amazing community for him. Thank you just for our community that we're building at Top Shelf Production. Bro, Sean, plug yourself in, bro. Tell them what's coming up.
All right, so we got the pop-up shop coming on at April 29th.
Let's
Pop-up
go,
shop,
baby.
April 29th. Pop-up shop is gonna be big, 12 to 5. The flyers up at the 2 Gifted Apparel page. If you want the address, make sure you hit DM me. We going big. We going big. This pop-up shop is gonna be big.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have everybody in there. We want you to come. We want you to learn. We want you to shop. But also we're gonna build you. We're gonna talk to you. We're gonna have conversation with you in order for you to be that next version of yourself.
Ooh.
So this pop-up shop, Gifted.
Ooh.
Thank you,
You talk about language.
for sponsoring this pop-up shop. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you, and I appreciate everybody that kept supporting me, kept pushing me. I appreciate it.
Yo, we are having I am having a pop-up shop on April 29th. One of my vendors is Too Gifted. We are looking for vendors. I've always said to myself, I've always wanted to build a community of like-minded people, but I've always wanted to make sure the dollar is circulated in our economy. It's circulated in our community, circulated in our circle.
Yes.
So, like I said, if I have $1, now I just have 25 cents, and it literally trickles into my community. That's one. 2. So, Sean, I told you I had really a big news. So, I used to think I wanted to do this bi-weekly, a bro check-in, but this conversation really inspired me. So, what I'm going to be doing every week is a bro check-in, bro. Yeah, so I used to do this bi-weekly, but I think these type of conversations what people need. So if you want to be a part of this conversation, it is at 9 o'clock. Jump in, let's have a conversation. I really want to tap into my community as much as we can. Please make sure you follow Top Shelf Podcast. Please make sure you follow the page. We're doing some major big things in April. Oh my Lord, April is gonna be amazing. We're coming back Monday, IG Lives. Yo,
yes.
I'm literally making sure that this podcast is not just regular, like we talked about, not average, but amazing. So, I want to make sure I'm there weekly because my bro Jeff always say consistency. Ooh. Consistency is the most powerful thing you can have. So, another thing that we always do, so bro check-in will be every Thursday. Every Thursday, bro check-in will be. Also, Word of Wisdom, it comes out every Wednesday on YouTube, all streaming platform. So please check my bro Jeff out. You can check me out on IG Live, bro check in. But you can also check out my bro Jeff at Word of Wisdom Podcast on all streaming platforms. What is your word of the week, bro?
My word of the week. Stop saying it and just do it. Stop saying it and just do it.
Oh man.
Stop being afraid to just make that first step. Just keep going. The sky's the limit. That's another word. The sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want to do. Just know that you powerful.
Yeah.
Build that inside of you. Build that inside of you and let it grow.
What's your final thought?
My final thought about everything?
Yeah. Talk to me. If I literally don't want to jump off the line, bro. Like you got some wisdom. So I want to try to get anything out of you before Iquel come on and say, all right, it's time for my turn. Cause you know Iquel, he a beast. So when Iquel come on the stage, you're like, okay, it's time to turn off my laptop.
I can't compete.
Where's my notepad?
That's the person I can't compete with.
Yo, we can't compete with him.
I think my word, I think what I got out of this is that we got to change our environment. We got to build kings and queens. We got to make sure that we tapping into people. We making them be their higher version of themselves. Also, we just gotta build with each other. We gotta build with each other. We gotta be a community. Not everybody's separate, but let's build with each other. And I think once we build with each other, we build a higher version. We build a higher thing that can just make us be powerful. We're stronger together. And when we're together, we strong. So I think that our community is big, and we just got to make sure that we just tap into our community. We communicate with our community, and we just let them be big and let them be amazing. Because I think once we do that, we're gonna be in a higher. We gonna change the world. We're gonna change the world when we building people. Everybody just building.
Yeah. I think my final thought will be, and what I got from this live was, we do not do life in isolation. We do life in community.
Mm.
And when we do that, we able to change not just this generation, but we were able to change generation after generation. My goal is not to, like, we still talk about Martin Luther King, and he died like about maybe 40 or 50 years ago.
Right.
Respectfully, that's the wrong numbers. But we're still talking about him. I want to know that every decision that we've made in my community, that they talk about it for generation after generation after generation.
Right.
Let us be the Rockefellers that they talk about.
Yeah.
Let us be the community changes that they talk about. So when they come and say, "Oh, yo, Sean, Anthony, Ike, well, oh, yo, Arise, yo, they doing some top shelf podcasts. Yo, they doing some amazing thing. Kingsville King, Gentleman's Factory. Yo, they doing some amazing thing."
Right.
Let's not talk about it anymore. Talk is cheap. Let's create action. President Sean, thank you. I
Nah,
really do appreciate you, bro.
appreciate you for having
You,
me. This shit.
know, I hopefully,
We build.
when my brothers come on, or when we go back to our podcast, that you come on and we had just more of this conversation.
Yes.
All right, bro.
Stop
Yo,
having me.
bro, check in every Thursday. Thank you. My word of this week is collaboration, consistency, and community. Yo,
Woo.
peace.
April 29th. Make sure you come.
Let's go.
Let's go. Appreciate it, Anthony.